Got boxes on boxes, wattage for days when the moon won't do. I'll shine in its place so you can find your way. Another light bulb at your face. I caught lightning in a mason jar, shining with the power of 1,000 stars. Lightning in a mason jar, see it from wherever you are. If your thoughts high up in the mountaintops, I'll leave the light on.
Yo, what's going on your Wednesday afternoon? I am Bull. This is Bull's Thoughts. How's everybody doing on your Wednesday, March 23rd? Broadcasting live from the 25-foot deep bunker. I'm telling you, the house is just a decoy. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I see you, Belly. You wrote on there, let's go, trying to hear these thoughts. Well, you know what? Had to get other things ready to go so I could do the thoughts that are inside the head. Yes, this is Bull's Thoughts. I am Bull, and this is what we talk about, whatever's in my head, if there's anything in my head at any given time. So this is what we do, this is how we do it, and this is the format that we speak of. By that nature, again, how's everybody doing? Chime in, let us know. Go on to the chat and just, say how you doing, how you like the show, like Belly does, and his mother effing shit that he does. I mean, come on, Belly. Stop trolling, buddy. You know, you're starting to become a troll. Hashtag troll. Hashtag diaper. Hope we get your show back. Hashtag diaper. So one of the, I guess, biggest headlines, if you're into political talk, is former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright has died at 84. That would be like a Belly question of like what she did. They're showing her on Bay News Line, and she looks pretty old. For 84, I'm assuming she had a very high power in the political game, whatever she did. Again, I don't know because I'm not into politics, but that's all over the news is that, she died and she was former Secretary of State. So I got her up on the live deal. Let's see if this will work here. There we go. Wait, what's going on? Hold on. There we go. So I got the live deal up, and let's see. So this is Madeleine Albright, and she was, I guess, former head of Secretary of State, as she's paying tribute to Colin Powell. She almost got that Marge Simpson beehive look to her, but so she died. I don't know if that's a big thing or not a big thing. I don't know if that's something that is sort of like, oh my God type of thing. Again, I don't know politics, but that's sort of what's going on. Belly chimes in. You want my, I'm assuming, show back. Hey, listen, I always told you, like I said, I don't care. If you want to bring your show back, that's cool. I have no problem with it. I think it did good numbers. I think it, brought in a lot of people, but nobody voted up to 10. You know, you got up to like 2 or 3 at the most, and that was it, and then it fell flat. So the people who are supporting you, I mean, I'm only one person, you know, and the people who are supporting you are not really, you know, chiming in, you know. Okay, so she was Secretary of State under Bill Clinton. All right. Well, I mean, I so the Secretary of State, does that? Does she control a lot of the infrastructure? Maybe, maybe she's like a very important person, you know, to where she's, you know, going to crazy. You know, I don't know. But yeah, so she was Secretary of State under Bill Clinton, that's interesting. Um, but so she, I guess, she died at 84. So I guess she's a big deal, you know. I wish I could Belly on here because I don't, like I said, I don't know really a whole lot about her, and I don't know what's going on. So, you know, or what she's done, you know, to be, you know, like what makes her, you know, status so important per se, you know. That's what I guess is sort of my question, you know. So that's the thing. You know, I don't really know exactly what she did or him, you know, per se, but you know, that would be a belly question. If I can, if I get them on, you know, the Discord thing, that'd be cool. Cause that way, you know, kind of discuss it for a little bit. Uh, but yeah. So moving on, moving on up. So, you know, we've been kind of touching on the last couple days on, oh, they implemented foreign policy for the government. Of course they did. Everybody implements foreign policy. Listen. I don't think there's anybody that's ever been part of any sort of presidential cabinet that hasn't implemented something at the time. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, so you did something for foreign government. Great, fantastic. So I want to see like you save the world or you manage to, you know, cure world peace. You know, that's what I'm looking for. Something like that. So we've been sort of talking about, you know, mental health and things that go on. I know, Belly, if you're listening, you suffer from a lot of anxiety, just like I do. I'm, like I said before, I'm learning how to deal with it, if you will, um, and how to deal with the situational awareness that goes along with it. Um, because a lot of times, you know, with different anxieties, there's different things that happens, you know, like, um, you know, and a lot of it's anxiety driven and stuff like that. So, you know, you say certain things that, you know, wasn't really meant to say, or, you know, you impulse buy or something like that. I mean, it's just anxiety driven, and that's the kind of thing that sort of, you know, drives me like everybody else up the wall, you know, because it's like the other day I was like, man, it's like this crap sucks. It's like you wake up in the morning and it just all you feel is just sort of like, you know, and it's like anxiety getting up, and it's like, it's like, when do you shut it off? When does it like? When does it turn off? When does it like stop? When is it, you know, just, just go. I Here's the thing. Like, when I went to the doctor for my GI tract um, deals, I was thinking that they were just going to give me some sort of prescription and it's going to, make things all good and gone. And so now it's like you go to the doctor and you talk to the doctor and you figure out, what's going on. And it's like, okay, so how do we stop it? And they're like, sorry about your luck, kid. Pack's saying there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's like, fuck me, And then you sit there and you have your good days and your bad days, and it's like, fuck. Then you go back and you think about it. It's like, gosh, dog, man, that's the thing, and a lot of people suffer from anxiety a lot more, with a lot deeper than other people do, and it sometimes it goes a long way, and sometimes it hits a chord with certain people, and you kind of have to understand it, because sometimes it's hard to understand. If it's like, if you're an outsider looking in, like, for example, right, some people have very, very harsh anxiety, and if you don't really understand, because because every anxiety is different, so if you don't really understand what's going on, then it's it's just hard. I mean, it's just like with me, a lot of people think that I'm nuts because a lot of mine feels like a caffeine race. Like I just drank like a whole gallon of Monsters. So it affects people in different ways. Some people may lash out. Some people may just, crab in. It's it's hard to really sort of pinpoint, exactly what or how it sort of does or triggers, for you, because different, like I said, different people handle it different ways. And that's the thing. It's like you don't really, um, if you don't understand, or if you're not in the know, basically, then it's hard to understand what the person may be going through. Because like mine might be different for some people that they don't understand. Like, for example, when I tell them that I don't eat steak, they're like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't eat steak? And it's like, no, I don't eat steak. I can't stand steak. It just tastes and smells nasty to me. And they're like, oh no, it's a cardinal sin not to eat steak.
Where will you go?
I know. Where will I go?
Where will you go?
I don't know. Little sounder there for you.
Where will you go?
So that's the thing that's sort of we've been talking, like I said, with mental health and stuff like that, and it's I can only tell you, like, from my experience, what I have gone through in the last like 6 months or so. So and it's hard. It's hard to, like, even just talking about it. It's hard even just recognizing it. I'm sure other people, feel the same way that, when it comes about, it's hard to muster up the strength, I imagine. You know. That's the thing that a lot of people has to understand. I think on both sides of the fence. Because the generation that comes up like before the 2000s, we didn't really, do a lot of the things that are happening now. And the things that are happening now, they didn't really do the things that were happening then in the 80s and the 90s. So that's the thing that I think the generations have to understand across the entire board, is that in order to understand each other, we have to understand where we come from and where we've been. And then once we understand that, then, then we can understand what's going on. I mean, the other day I asked a coworker, that's like, I think in the 20s or something like that. And I asked him, I said, listen, what's, you proclaim that you're tired, there's hard work and, stressful and stuff like that. And so, I mean, just out of curiosity, I just asked him, like, is it really that hard nowadays with you guys growing up in this generation? I mean, I thought, when I was growing up, it was kind of hard. But it seems like the more of the younger generation that you talk to, that it seems like they have a much harder life, growing up. And, and hold on, Belly, I'm trying to get to you, bud. And they have a much harder time getting to, do what they need to do, Hold on, Belly, don't go away. I got you, buddy. I'm just trying to remember how to do this live on the air. Ha 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 ha. Nope, not that one. No. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I got it. Here we go. Okay, go live. Hopefully I did it right. Belly, are you there? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. I was on a. Belly, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you
Oh, yeah, I got you now, buddy. I had to mix minus and do this and do that. I know you're probably talking about we were kind of, well, I was kind of talking about the like mental illness and anxiety and stuff like that. But you probably, what do you want to talk about, the what's her name?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, she's an old lady from the 90s. I mean, it was
okay.
before me getting into politics.
I never knew who she was, so I couldn't tell you. That's just all over the news,
Gotcha.
But no, we were just talking about mental illness and mental, anxiety and stuff like that, and how different people deal with anxiety different ways,
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about how I was asking a coworker the other day. That's he's in his 20s, and I was like, asking him, is it really that hard? Is it really that hard? Nowadays, is it really that hard growing up? from the time you were born in the late, 2000s to the time now. I mean, like, that's what I want to know because like I said, when I was growing up, I mean, my parents were kind of stiff at times, but they weren't like, beating, my brother and I. They were just sort of like go outside, come back for supper, blah, 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 you know. But nowadays it seems like you talk to these group of people and it seems like they've got like the most harshest, growing up that I guess you could imagine. Is that like the trend now? Is that what's going on?
Well, I mean, each individual's thing is different, but
Well, I
mean,
agree
kids
with
growing
that.
Kids growing up now have, especially young men, have way more support systems, and it's not as taboo to seek out help. Be it like you and I were
Right.
teenagers or in our 20s and stuff like that. So they have more resources now, and also think about it. I mean, they've gone through a recession. They've gone through a once in a lifetime pandemic. They
But that's
we have too, but
and that's what I'm saying. It's
possible World War III,
right.
nuclear weapons, all this stuff.
And that's what I'm saying is maybe that's just me and my mentality of thinking, but even with all that being said, I mean, is it really that bad off? I mean, is it really like I mean the thing that I can imagine when I hear something like that is like these kids' parents are like beating them, or something like that. I mean I don't know. I'm just hypothetically, that's what just comes to mind. Like it just makes it seem like they had such a horrible childhood that it develops into a mental state, which I mean I can understand that, but I just didn't think it was that bad.
Well, I mean, again, I guess it boils down to the individual that you're talking to. Someone could have a kittens and rainbows life and not have a worry at all, and some people grew up wondering if they were going to eat a fried bologna sandwich or eat a bread sandwich for dinner. I mean,
which I understand that, but I mean, the most average stories that you get is that it's like the everyday stresses is what makes them like freak out, like
I mean,
balancing work, school, house, and it's like. You talk to these people, and that's the average subject line, and it's like when I was growing up, it was you were worried about blades in the candy, or you were worried about not getting home before the street lights come on and your parents beat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just grew up in a different time period, a different. I mean, you guys, technology has advanced, meaning that bad people's ways of doing bad stuff has advanced. The government's changed, policies changed.
True.
Back when me and you were growing up, bread was what, like
$1.50, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's $3.65.
Yeah.
If you make minimum wage, if you're a 20-year-old kid, you can't own your own apartment. If you go to college, you're in debt until you're in your 40s or 50s.
But that was back then too. I mean, all that stuff
not
was
really.
I mean, yeah, because when you went to college back then, you were still in debt. I mean, it's all that stuff, or at least most of that stuff that you mentioned, because I don't know if policies change with the apartments and stuff, but most of that stuff that you mentioned, stuff that I remember growing up and hearing about. So that's why I ask. I'm like, what has changed in the mentality of the generations? Like,
I don't think anything's changed. I think the problem's always been there. We just have more ways of being able to express it, and it's more accepting to express.
Right,
It
and
used to be
yeah,
suck it up.
right,
Men don't do this. Blah blah blah. That's
right,
bullshit.
exactly.
That's just a bullshit toxic masculinity.
Okay, and I can understand the psychology of naming it. I get that. But then again, my question goes back to the most simplest term is like, what happened? Like, what turned the evolution of our society to make us to be more sensitive to the already things that are happening in this world since before I was even born?
I don't think it's more sensitivity. I think it's openness to willing to discuss your problems and less of a toxic nature of saying, "Oh, just suck it up." It's more people are more open to listen and say, "Hey, I have those problems too. Let's in this together. What can we do to fix it?"
So then why does the everyday problems that exist, why does it give people or the younger generation more anxiety?
I mean, how do you know they have more anxiety? It's not the same amount of anxiety.
It doesn't matter plus or minus the anxiety. My point is the anxiety itself.
My opinion is it's always been there.
That's what I'm saying. The situational awareness has not changed. So therefore, why is society has become more sensitive to the already situational awareness?
Again, I don't think they're more sensitive. I think they're just as sensitive. It's just more accepting to be able to express it, and there's less of a chance unless you have those toxic people that are just like,
right,
suck it up.
No, I don't know if you call it.
Sucking it up is what causes anxiety in adults.
Well, again, I don't know if it's sucking it up is really a toxic thing, okay? Because, I mean, it does sort of teach you sort of self-control too. Because
really? I mean,
okay,
if someone's trying to express a problem to you, or this is what I worry about, and this is what worries me.
Hold on,
you're getting told to shut down and suck it up.
Well,
that's toxic.
Well, not in that nature. But what I'm talking about is like if you fall down and you get scraped up in the knees, right? And it's like, all right, listen, it's cool, everything is cool, you're fine, right? Just suck it up and let's go on. All right.
Oh, I mean, you're comparing scrape of a knees to.
Well, no. Well, what I'm saying is like all that is still going to be there. Okay, it's the problems are all still going to be there. It's how you deal with them. You know, if you're going to deal with them saying, "Oh shit, we're all going to die," then you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, I mean, you're going to an extreme.
But if no,
everyone's saying we're all going to die.
I'm saying in your mind, however you deal with it, if you go, "Oh shit, we're all going to die," basically, okay. But if you think about it rationally and just go, and again, I know I'm speaking in a hypothetical term because, again, like with me, it's sort of hard to do that. But if you think sort of rationally, which I'm trying to work on, and just go, you know what? Okay, cool. Let's just say, for example, the phone died. To most people, they would go crazy. Like the phone wouldn't turn back on.
Yeah.
But to me, I'd be like, okay, cool. I know there's people and contacts and stuff like that and clients and stuff like that. Let's just wait for a minute. Let's chill out and let's turn the phone back on and see what happens. You see what I mean?
But you and me also grew up in a time where we didn't have a phone attached to our head 24 hours a day.
Okay,
Kids that are
but
at least 18 years old, like we consider adults now, they grew up with that. That's their life.
And that's what I'm saying. The principle is still the same. You know, because even if you're 18 with a phone attached to your hip, okay, instead of like flipping out because your phone is turned off all of a sudden, it doesn't make a difference. The point is that the rational way of doing that is like, okay, listen, it's a phone. We can relax. Right? I mean,
but this is why I'm trying. Like,
I know it's hypothetical. It's hypothetical. Yes, I know, because everybody is different. Everybody reacts differently. And that's
I'm just talking about generational. Like, I agree with you to the point. If my phone went off right now, I could go about my day and do whatever.
yeah,
But adults now, I still say they're kids, even though they're 18 years old, but they're considered adults. Their whole life they grew up with this lifeline attached to them. And then, think about it. We live in Florida. If we have a hurricane, what and the power goes out, our Wi-Fi goes out, we go fucking nuts within a half hour because we don't have electricity, we don't have Wi-Fi, we don't have anything to get to the outside world. Just think of it. It's the same concept, but it's that's more drastic. That's a hurricane's a
right,
hurricane kind of a thing.
right. And that's my point. It's like we've we've grown dependent on so many things,
Hmm.
whether it be phone, pager, social media, Facebook, Instagram, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
Like people are literally like killing themselves over Facebook, which is beyond me. But and I don't mean that facetiously. I'm just saying it with a question mark because it's like if you're letting a person on Facebook like it's a gray area. I understand that because there's a
I mean, are
lot
you
of
talking
things.
about like someone picking on you on Facebook?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Bullying's
like
just a problem in general.
yeah. If it gets to that point, man, just shut down the Facebook and just turn it off. You know what I mean? I mean, the people who are on your friends, if they call your friends on Facebook, they can find you and they'll find you and they'll you'll get them all back. Because most people are into that. They're most getting all the friends.
Oh,
Like for me, I'm just putting shit up there just for fucking content. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trying to build up the content stuff and trying to build up the people to get the traffic and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I might put up some stupid shit up there, but it's just to build up stuff. Like Joe Rogan will talk about a whole lot of stuff and put a whole lot of stuff on his Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, and it's just to drive content. It's just to drive people, insane to comment on the stuff that he puts on there. Because he could care less about.
All it is. No, he doesn't even probably check it. He just posts it and he has a.
And just let it. Yeah, just let it run wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's different. I mean, everyone now has a voice and has an opinion, and they're allowed to have it via social media. And they see all these celebrities and these social media influencers that have all these followers, and they think the more followers you have, what you're saying is more important and what's true. Perfect example is I got into something in Twitter with some younger conservative person, and he goes, "Oh, you only have blah 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 followers," and I said, "So just because I have blah 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 followers does that mean that what I'm saying isn't valid? Is that how you judge what's true and correct?"
Sometimes
nowadays?
people do. Yeah, they sit there and they judge.
And those people need to be called idiots.
Well, no, because even like when I worked at the BRN, right, when Caveman would write an email to a potential client, or a guest, he would put on there how many likes we have on our YouTube, how many Instagram followers, how many because nowadays, and that was back in 2016. Okay, but what I'm saying is that people are driven for that. Case in point, there was a story a number of years ago when YouTube changed their policies about how they're paying their YouTube people, right? She got so freaked out, this YouTuber, right, that she went into YouTube, the building, and started shooting up the place.
Okay.
Now tell me that's not insane.
It's drastic. I mean, it's drastic.
And that's the society that we're living in this time.
Yeah, we got fanatics that take social media way too seriously. And like I was just gonna ask. I mean, would you rather be wrong with 1 million followers listening to every word that you say, or would you rather be right with 15? I'd rather be right with 15.
I'd rather be right with 15.
Most people want the following. because a lot of people see that as a revenue stream. I have followers,
Well,
therefore I
and
don't
it
know how
is.
all that shit works. I get paid, blah blah blah.
And it
People
is.
listen
It
to that.
is. It is. It is a revenue thing because a lot of these people that are doing it now, or are heavily doing it,
Give me 1 second, bud.
yeah.
I'm gonna step away for a sec.
Okay. If you can hear me, I'll just continue. A lot of these people that are heavily doing it, they're getting paid to do this. That's their main job. Like I know a couple different people who have quit their well-paying job to be a YouTube creator or Instagram creator or whatever creator, and
But I gotta drop off, okay?
yeah, go do your thing, but I appreciate it. Belly from
Come
Gut Check Live. Holy will be back. His show will be back on live. So, you know, and that's what they drive for. That's what they need. You know. So it's a crazy dichotomy. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with this, you know. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys listening. You guys are awesome. Listen, mental health is a serious thing. Okay, go get help if you need help. Okay, if you don't know how to get help, you know, just talk to somebody. You know, talk to somebody that you trust. You know, a lot of times a good friend is just a person that will just listen to you. You know, not say nothing, just listen. Because sometimes it just takes that open ear just to say, okay, here's what I'm feeling. Let's just just listen to me. So let's do this. Let's just try to work on our mental health, and let's try to work on, you know, understanding each other a little bit more, especially communicating. You know, if we do that, then I think it would be a little bit better for everybody, especially the changing or the evolution of the society. You know, we're still a young race of humanoids. We got a lot to learn. Let's not kill each other. All right, I am Bull. Thank you for joining us. This is Bull's Thoughts. We will see you next time. Just stay tuned because Bull's Thoughts will happen anytime, anywhere, on any stage or format. Just me and my thoughts. Sometimes people jump in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day on your Wednesday. We will see you hopefully tomorrow. Go to youtube.com. Just search Bulls Radio Lounge. Facebook.com Bulls Space Radio Lounge. We'll see you later, guys. Be safe out there. Take care of yourself and take care of your others. We'll see you soon. Peace.